Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Mananga, Namo Namaha, Jai Garanga, Jai Nishingade. So we're going to continue on with Lofa Taal today. Do 2 or 3 mantras here. These are going to be a little bit different. We're looking at some what we would call Relas here, some kind of driving beats where you want to have a little bit more lightness and energy to the kirtan, a little bit more playfulness, not such a rigid kind of driving mantra. These can be played slow, quickly, fast, going from slow and then switching into double speed. There's lots of different things that you can do with these mantras. They're also really great for just playing at a medium pace and then allowing them to slowly speed up a little bit and move then into kind of more of like a double speed feel. Lots of different options. These are considered more like bhajan style. You're using naks, dinis, a lot of different fingerings here. So we have dak, dini, naka. So this is very similar to, we're just transferring the concepts of some of the Relas that we know in Das Behera Taal and switching them over to the Lofa Taal. So in, the Mayapuris, everyone knows this dak, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dak, dini, dini, dak, dini, dini, dak, dini, dak, dini, da, dini. So all these different ones can also be played in different taals as well, Lofa Taal. So here we have dak, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, da, dini, naka, dini, ta, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, ta, dini, naka, dini. So here again, we've got the concepts of your Laya Jati and your Bol Jatis. So your Laya Jatis are just in 2s, dak, dini, naka, dini. And then your Bol Jatis are using those concepts of 3s. Dini, da, 3, dini, da, 3, dini, 2, naka, dini. So then we have those mixtures of 3s and 2s in the Bol Jatis, and the Laya Jati is your Chatur. So let's work our way through this here. Dak, you have your nak, and your gay. Dak, dini, dak, dini. Dak, dini, naka, dini, naka. Right? Dak, dini, naka, dini, naka. So if we have your Taal structure of Das Behera, then you need your dak, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini. So we have that dini here. In Lofa Taal, you just have the dak, dini, naka, dini, naka. Because you only have 6 instead of 8. So the dini are your last 2 that make up your Das Behera Taal of 8, whereas Lofa is only 6 jatis. So we have dak, dini, naka, dini, naka. And then dini, da, dini, naka, dini. So let's look at this. This is a little complex. Dini, so this is actually dini, da, and then dini, da, and then dini, naka, dini. And it's dini, da, dini, naka, dini is how you want to pronounce it because it's spread across. So the Bol Jatis are spreading across here. Dini, da, dini, naka, dini. Dini, da, dini, ka, dini. Dini, da, dini, naka, dini. Dini, da, dini, naka, dini. Dini, da, dini, naka, dini. So da, dini. And you can start in the da too. Da, dini, naka, dini. Or you can start in the da. Dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, da, dini, da, dini. Da, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, da, dini, da, dini, naka, dini. Dini, naka, dini, da, dini, da, dini, da, dini. You play them all open as well if you want. You can play them softly. Da, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, da, dini, da, dini. Lots of different options. You play them all knucks, all open, or as I'm showing here, a mixture. Da dini naka dini dini naka dini da dini da dini naka dini. Different ways of doing it. So you can have all knucks, all das, or the mixture. Da dini naka dini dini naka dini da dini da dini naka dini dini da dini da dini naka dini dini naka dini dini naka dini da dini da dini. Or you can have da dini naka dini dini naka dini da dini da dini naka dini. Lots of different options. Gur, now the lagu closed. So tak, just a knock. Tak teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny 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 ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny. Tak teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny teen. So you've got tak teeny naka teeny teeny naka. And then teeny ta teeny ta teeny knock. Right? Teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny. Make sure you have closed hits here. Teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny ta teeny ta teeny teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny. So look in here. Ta teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny. So you want to naka teeny naka teeny. Ta teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny. Da teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny da deen. So then here we're gonna play the guru and the lagu together and see how the whole mantra comes together. We'll play it slowly. Da teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny da teeny da teeny naka teeny ta teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny da teeny da teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny teeny naka teeny ta teeny ta teeny. So very slowly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So those are all the different versions kind of blended together, all knocks, all opens, all, the mixtures of different things. It's about having kind of control of the mantra and understanding what the different feels are that you want to get from that particular mood and moment in the kirtan. So then moving from there, then you have the option of switching into something a little less complicated to facilitate a little bit more speed as well. So then we have Dini Dini Naka. Dini Dini Naka, so 1, 2, 3. Then Dini Dini Naka, 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 jatis for your Lofa Taal 6. Dini Dini Naka, Dini Dini Naka 6. Then Dini Naka, Dini Naka, Dini Dini. So we're just writing this in all different ways to make up your 6 jatis. Dini Naka, Dini Naka, Dini Dini. So then we're switching up the flow there. Dini Dini Naka, Dini Dini Naka, Dini Naka, Dini Naka, Dini Dini, Teeny Teeny Naka, Teeny Teeny Naka, Teeny Naka. So here we're not having that bol jati changing. So we have a chatu of bol jati, we have the laya bol jati. So when you're not having mixed bol jatis, then generally speaking, especially with Rela's here, the speed of the kirtan is going to be able to advance a little more, and you're not having a little bit more complex fingering where you're having those three jatis spread across in your bowl 3-3-2 versions. So this is a little bit more staccato, a little bit more resilient to the speed and the change of the kirtan, because you're not having any more kind of complexity there. It's just a little bit more rigid. So we have dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka. So that's all you have to play there. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini. Right? Dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. So there's two different parts here that you have to practice. First one, dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka. Second part, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, dini. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. Dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. Dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. So this one's definitely a little bit easier than the previous one because, again, you don't have that change in the bold jatis of 3s and 2s. But it's not as interesting as well, and that's why you segue from more interesting into less as you have the speed kind of increasing. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. So that's where you want to have that, because you want to understand Lofa Taal is 6, but it's also broken into kind of 3 and 3 jatis and 3 jatis. So you always have dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka. So you want to hit that dini, 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 naka, dini, right? Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka. So you have that spacing. Then dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. So that naka again is hitting that 4th jati in the 1 and the 4 of the Lofa Taal there. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini. Right, so in here, then you have the dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, emphasis there. Then dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, naka, dini, dini. Dini, dini, naka, dini, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, 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 naka, dini, naka, dini, dini, right? So you want to hit those two parts there. That's the areas that are emphasized in the mantra. So we'll chant with this a little bit and get a feel for it. And again, remember, dini, dini, naka, dini. So these are not making open sounds. They're your fingers are curved. Again, we've discussed this many times in the videos, playing on the pads. Very soft kind of sounds here. You're not trying to make a loud, obnoxious sound. In the kirtans, they get so loud and so obnoxious that if you play like this, you kind of get drowned out in a lot of sense because people are just kind of bashing and crashing, and it's all just very loud, open stuff. So this is just taking things to, a very different kind of melodic level for the kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you can use this and kind of ramp it up. You can start with the first one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So then you can also switch those two. You can play the dini dini naka, and then didi da dini naka dini. So you can use that. So you could play duck dini naka dini naka dini da dini naka dini naka. So you could have a much larger mantra here too. So you could go duck dini naka dini naka dini da dini naka dini naka dini naka dini naka dini naka ta dini naka dini. So you could have a very large bara mantra here, and have something quite complex. And if you practice it and memorize it, it would be very beautiful as well. So just chanting with this particular version here, though, that was just kind of giving you different options and ideas of how you can, grow these mantras even larger. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. At this point, there's so many mantras and so much stuff that I know. I have to kind of, if I'm doing a video, literally, I read this stuff like sheet music. I used to play in jazz band and was quite proficient in the baritone saxophone. And you don't memorize music a lot of the times, even if you watch symphonies and stuff. People don't memorize it. They're just very proficient at playing their instruments, watching the conductor, the speeds, reading the sheet music, and they just play it. So here, I have all this stuff that is written out. It's all in Taal. It's all formulated properly. So all you have to do is just read it kind of like sheet music here. But there's so many mantras, I can't remember all of them, and I haven't spent enough time to sit down and actually memorize all this stuff. I'm still at the stage where I'm even just learning the mridanga as I'm going through this process with you guys, and then maybe when I'm 50 or 60, I'll actually have a whole framework, and then I can sit down and actually, memorize all this stuff and have it kind of all at hand. But right now I don't have everything on hand, so we're just kind of reading through it like sheet music at the moment. But that's that one there. So the first one, duck dini naka dini naka dini da dini naka dini tak dini naka dini ta dini naka 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 dini. What do we have here? So we'll do one more today here. So then we're switching again. Naka, which one do I want to present here? So many. Okay, we'll do this one. Naka dini. So where do we leave off? So we did duck dini naka dini naka, right? That's one pattern. At least in kind of a straight bol jati chatur. Second, dini naka dini naka. Now, dini naka, you couldn't argue as well as like a bol jati of Tisra, but it's not really split in the same way as dini da dini naka dini. So we have dini naka, duck dini naka. Now we're going and starting with naka. So this is another way that you can write your mantra. Naka dini naka. So instead of starting on the dinis, we're starting with nakas. And that's a very kind of specialized way of playing and very beautiful as well. And obviously you need to be proficient with your naks. So we have naka dini naka dini naka dini. 1, 2, 3, naka dini. 1, 2, 3, naka dini. Then we have naka dini naka dini. 1, 2, 3, naka dini naka, 3 jatis, then dini. And there's so many ways of writing this, and we have different versions here that we're going to show later as well. But now we're starting on the naka, so now we're switching the whole vibe again. We're naka, so we're having it cracking the whip straight off the bat. Naka, naka dini dini. See, it's like very abrasive. So like if you want to make a bit of a statement, if the kirtan singer wants to be a little bit more heard at the moment, you feel like he wants the kirtan to be focusing more now on something, bring in this version here. Naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini, naka. It's like calling to attention. Attention, everyone. Like, let's listen in to the kirtan here. Let's listen to what is happening. No spacing out. Naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini, dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini. So where's the emphasis here? We have naka dini dini naka on that naka, naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini, and then on that first dini 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 for that break in the Lofa Taal there of 3s and 3s. Naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini dini, naka dini, naka dini dini dini. This one's even easier to play when you're starting with the naka. It removes the focus on the dinis and places less emphasis now on the bottom end, more emphasis on the top end. You can play faster like this because your bottom hand is doing a little less work. There's not much emphasis on the Ds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. What am I playing? Rama, Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So then you're going nakatini tini, and then all you have to remember is nakatini, dini dini. But it still does get confusing. I even get confused because there's so many different versions here. You have to practice a lot to have all these, on hand and in your memory and ready to go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll do that one slow again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So those are 3 new mantras there for you, and as always, we'll continue putting content up here, and hopefully it helps some people to have a little bit more confidence in playing in kirtan and just some fun things to learn that aren't really out there in public knowledge. So Hare Krishna, Jai Guranga.